we're live. We're live, baby.
Live
10/25/2023, episode 7. Is this episode 7?
No,
yeah.
6. Whoa.
Jumping the gun, man. Getting excited.
Me too.
Episode 6, Gator Chomp.
Boo.
And we're playing basketball.
Basketball.
If this is your first time tuning in, we appreciate you tuning in.
Yes.
To episode 6. We got 5 more episodes on all your major podcasting platforms. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, you name it, TikTok. We're on it. We're on it all. Check us out, Tylers Talkin Sports.
Don't forget
YouTube. Myself, Tyler Castle, my co-host, brother, partner in life, other than my wife, of course, Tyler Hess.
Yep.
Coming to you live from Lebanon, Virginia. Basically, what you're going to see on this podcast is sports.
Kind of what we talk about.
Anything with sports. It's even got the name and our title of our podcast. So it's what we do. We talk
If
sports.
you don't want to hear sports, you're at the wrong place.
You're at the wrong place. Sometimes it gets a little spicy on here. We do have our picks and teams, as you can see. If you are watching, live feedback on video, you'll see my background is primarily Tennessee Volunteers. You can look behind Mr. Hess there. He's a big Georgia Bulldogs fan. Loves some baseball. Loves the Broncos. We just love it all. We love all sports here. We're open to everything. Good and bad. So, Hess, anything that you wanted to add to that introduction?
No, man. Just like I said, I am Tyler Hess. He said Broncos, Bulldogs in Georgia. All college is all
His
Georgia.
name's Tyler Bronco Hess.
Tyler Bronco Hess. Yeah, that's me. And then we're here for it. All the sports, anything, you name it. You want us to talk about it, be sure to message us, comment on our post, be like, hey, I'd like to hear more about women's college basketball. I'm probably not going to tell you much about it, but I'll look up some research on it.
We'll look it up. We'll get you some stats. We'll tell you, if you're into big sports betting, I like to do a little sports betting. So if you're in on that, we'll try to help you out there, help you get you some good picks.
Like last week, we covered the PGA Tour, the championship, the Zozo.
Yep. Hess picked Colin Morikawa, and he didn't bet on him.
Didn't bet on him anymore,
but he picked him. So hopefully somebody out there listening does, take some of this and take it into account whenever you are placing your bets or anything like that. So hopefully we can provide some sort of learning, knowledge, stupidity, something. So hopefully
don't bet your house or anything. Don't
get too crazy. But before we get into this pod, I wanted to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Next Level Fitness Club. If you're watching the camera, look behind me there, the hat. Straight in Lebanon at 1806 East Main Street, Lebanon, Virginia, 24266. 24/7 gym facility, personal trainers, certified. I got functional fitness classes, 24/7 tanning. You asked for it, they got it. Reach out to them guys. Great owners.
They don't have showers.
Know them firsthand. Wow, you're going to say the one thing they don't have. Everything else but showers. They have a sink that you can wash your head in or your hands. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, give them guys a shout out. Follow on Facebook, Instagram. They're on all your large social media platforms as well, and they sure would appreciate it. Small business, folks. Small business.
Support small business, guys. All right, guys. All you baseball fans out there, pretty much think it's a lot of you guys that actually are tuning in. By the way, if you're watching, not a Reds fan, Castle's a Yankees fan, but we did go to Cincinnati and got our nice Hunter Green jerseys. They were pretty cool. I was actually about to wear mine tonight, but didn't. Kind of glad because I don't really want us to match because we don't want to agree on everything. But we're going to start out talking about this postseason, guys. The Rangers clinching the World Series berth first. Castle, I know you was very happy about that, so let's go ahead and hear that, man.
Yeah, I was happy. If you've listened to previous podcasts, or if you could go back in mine and Hess's texting history, you would see I called the Rangers at the beginning of the season. I told Hess, you need to pay attention to the Rangers. I thought they was lining up on pitching. This is even before they had Max Scherzer, Jordan Montgomery. They did really well throughout the season, free agencies, trade deadlines. They just really, really honed in on the pitching. And that's kind of the reason why we're seeing them here today where they're at. If you just go back, just want to give a quick stat there for folks who like some previous stats. If you go back 2 years, they finished the season off 60 and 102.
Yeah, I think
And then
with them and the Rangers and the D-backs both, I think like combined 210 losses between the two in the last
yeah, they
last
were
year.
terrible. I didn't get the Diamondback stats, so if you have those, that'd be awesome. If not, both teams sucked.
Yeah, they were
So
terrible.
2022, the Rangers went 68 and 94, so a little bit of improvement, but this year was just icing on the cake. I mean, make it to World Series 3 years after only winning 60 games. I mean, 162 games, folks. So winning 60 is not too good. So. One key thing about this that I like to note about the Rangers, and I think it'll play into this. I know we're going to get into, talking about them and the Diamondbacks here in just a second, but they're 7-0 on the postseason road.
Yeah,
I mean, that's impressive. I mean, they play better on the road than home.
Yeah, which is crazy that you don't think about that. But that's what they're doing. It's weird. It's like they kind of get more amped for the road game than they do the home game.
Yeah, I was happy to see what's his face. Starts with A. Garcia. Is it the Garcia? The one that got hit with the fastball?
Yes.
I was happy to see him get
Adolis Garcia.
Yeah, I could not think of his name, but yeah, Garcia, gets the home runs. That's pretty, last game there.
The RBIs, dude. What do you have? Like 18 in the series,
something like that. I mean, he tore it up.
Yeah,
after getting hit with that fastball, it looks like it pissed him off. So he took it out on the game, and it was good to see the Rangers take that one. First time since I think 2015. We haven't seen Houston and the Dodgers.
2016.
Okay, 2016. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, what's that? 7 years, 8 years? Yeah. 8 years. Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's nice. I love seeing it, man.
I do too.
I know. I called Philly. I missed that one. I called him in 5.
We'll get to that
messed
one.
up their pitching rotation and everything.
I got my take on that one.
Yeah. But let's stay in the ALCS for now. For y'all not too familiar with baseball, because I know we got some listeners don't really know much about baseball. That's the American League.
Yep.
When we say NLCS, that's the National League.
Yeah, it'll be the National League Championship Series and then the American League Championship Series.
Yeah,
and then
just a little bit.
You win the pennant. Those are best of 7 series.
Yeah, these are best of 7. They go through best of 5 and then best of 7.
Yep.
So now we're in the 7, of course, because it is the World Series. World Series will start Friday, the 27th.
Yep, at 8:03, first pitch in Texas.
Yep, excited about that. Before we move on to the National League, I do want to talk about Houston because some big news came out on Houston. Mm-hmm. With Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker, for y'all that don't know, he's the GM of or head coach, of Houston, and he did decide to step down, which is really big. So I was curious, Hess. I mean, you go ahead. I'll let you get your take in there.
I was gonna say it's pretty interesting. You're wearing the Reds jersey tonight because for me,
I'm not a Reds fan.
For me, when I think Dusty Baker, I think of the Reds when he was the manager of the Reds. Truly old school coach, reminds me a lot. He's more calmer Bobby Cox, and Dusty was there, with the Reds with Ken Griffey Jr. during all his glorious moments. He was there through the terrible times with the Reds. He was there for some good times, but it was good. I mean, honestly, I know a lot of people hate the Astros for everything that happened, but Dusty Baker came into that situation and took that team over and said, this is going to be my team. We're going to forget about the past, and we're going to do some great things here. And I was happy to see Dusty Baker finally get that World Series, even though I wasn't cheering for Houston in that, but I was happy for Dusty Baker. I truly believe he's a Hall of Fame manager, one of the greats, Absolutely. One of the last remaining great, all-time great managers out there. And, it was time. It was time. You could tell. I felt like at times he wasn't really managing. I feel like a lot of the bench coach and some other people were kind of doing the stuff for him. But in a way, I wish he were retired on top. I think it would have been cool to see him go out like they win the World Series last year. Whenever they won it, was it last year they beat the Phillies?
Last year. Yeah.
If he would have just went ahead and did it. But hey, you got that burning. You think you can get back and get another one. He came close. Why not come back and try to get another one? But my hat's off to Dusty Baker. Enjoy his retirement. He'll be in Cooperstown. It's good for Dusty.
I think it's a good time. You get to that certain age, and you're ready. When you're ready.
I agree.
Because I'm close to that age, so I'm ready now.
I've been ready.
But I did have a pop quiz for you, or just to give me your take.
Wow.
Yeah. Hess don't know this, so Hess, who takes over Houston now?
Who takes over Houston? Let me tell
who
you.
You got?
There's a good name. There's a name there that people aren't going to think about. I mean, they'll probably go out and get a big name. Let's be honest. They got the money that's Houston. But if I stay within the organization, I go get their hitting coach, and that'd be Brian Snedeker's son, the Braves manager. His son's the hitting coach.
Brian Snickers. Wow.
Yeah, Brian Snedeker, his son. I go get him, make him manager. I'd stay with in-house. I'm big on in-house hires. I mean, look at the Braves and what they did. Bobby Cox retired. They went with Freddie Garcia, which was at the time it was a big hire because he was doing good with the Marlins. Yeah. And then he almost wrecked the entire organization. They did bring in Anthopoulos with Atlanta, but then they went in and got Snicker, who has been with the Braves for over 49 years. The dude coached in Danville. He's got his first ever win over here in Bristol as a manager.
Wow.
His first Atlanta Braves organization win was here in Bristol. He's been with the Braves for over 49 years. Stayed with AAA forever.
That's awesome.
Was on the World Series teams. He was the third base coach when we went to the World Series in the early 90s. So I'm big on staying in-house.
I like that. I like in-house hire.
If I go bold,
I
go bold here and say we don't go in-house with Houston, which I don't know a lot about their in-organization stuff because, I mean, when it comes to baseball, I watch it, but the Braves are my baby, and that's who I pay attention to the most all the way through. But there's a name out there that's floating that I might reach out to. That's two. Do you go for Buck Showalter?
That's my first pick.
But I will say this: the last two places Buck Showalter's been, he's like got the team to a certain point, and then he couldn't get them over the hump.
I feel like Showalter can build a team, but if you give him like a bunch of superstars, look what happened with the Mets. I mean, it didn't work out.
And I mean, if you look at Houston's roster, which most of that's going to be intact again next year, it's not a bunch of superstars. I mean, you got Altuve. Bregman's not Bregman anymore. They got
well, he had a bad playoff.
You got Alvarez, Alvarez. I mean, he's a monster. They got some good pitching. I mean, that's another thing. The Astros had two of their main pitchers.
Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Houston will be back there again next year unless something drastic happens. So.
But the other name I was going to go with was used to be San Francisco's manager. Was with the Phillies. Pretty boy. What is his name? Oh my gosh, what is his name? Real sexy man. Hold on. I got you.
Well, while you're thinking of your sexy man, I'm going to give you two other picks that I don't know if you floated around. Joe Girardi, man.
Yeah.
Solid track record as a manager. He does have a World Series win. He's got more than 1,000 wins with 3 teams. Granted, he did get fired from Philly, but right after they fired him, they made it to a World Series.
With their AAA manager as the head coach. They stayed in-house.
They did stay in-house. I agree. I don't think there's anything wrong with in-house because they already know the system and they already know the players.
Back to mine, Gabe Kapler.
Yeah. Gabe Kapler. Okay.
He done good with the Phillies. He left, went to the Giants. They won 110 games and 109 games, and then he had a bad year this year, and they fired him.
I can see Girardi doing well though at Houston. I'm not gonna lie. I think he do fine there. I'm gonna give you. You ready for my bold one? Out of the blue.
Don Mattingly.
No, Ron Washington.
Heard that. I've heard a lot about Ron Washington.
I've been reading a lot on him. 71. He's the most winningest manager in Texas Rangers history.
It was funny.
But hasn't managed since 2020.
He was the manager that took him to the World Series last time they were there.
Yeah, 2011.
Back-to-back years. But it's funny you said Ron Washington. It was people don't know I actually coach a travel ball baseball team here in Lebanon, and one of my other coaches was like, man, let's try to get us another coach in here to help with some pitching and field and stuff like that. And really knows to do a lot of drills. I was like, I've been reading a lot about Ron Washington. It's like he might be thinking about leaving the Braves and becoming a manager again.
Yep. Which
I get it. The dude's been super successful. He's been single-handedly. I mean, what he did with the Braves infield when he got there, they're gold glovers all the way around. They don't make mistakes. I mean, I love Ron Washington. I'd love to see him back in a managerial role as much as I'd hate to lose him as a coach. Love him at third base, but that's a good one.
I wouldn't be happy about him going to Houston, but he would be a good fit.
That would be a good
hire. Be very good hire.
So. Why'd you say that, man? Now I don't want to.
That's my bold take.
Why are you taking Ron from me? I love Wash.
It's my bold take. All right, man. We've been talking about the ALCS now for about 10 minutes. You want to move on to the NLCS?
Absolutely.
Phillies and Diamondbacks?
Absolutely. I've been waiting. Let's talk about
Let's
talk about the NLCS, man.
Diamondbacks advance.
I want to ask, do Philly fans, do you get rings for winning the NLDS? Because I know we was all talking about the ring that they was going to get for winning and all the stuff they were talking about. Do you get rings for beating the Braves in NLDS? Or
you can't talk smack about it, man. They y'all's daddy. y'all's daddy past 2 years.
Hey, can I tell you something?
I'm just being honest. I mean,
Hey, we won a World Series in the last 2 years. They haven't. Bryce Harper has never won a World Series.
That's tough. Was it past 3 years, right?
Well, this year.
When y'all win? 2021?
Yeah, this year will make 3 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Okay,
so.
Well, but still, nobody's won the World Series yet, so.
But
anyway,
yeah.
1 for 29.
Yeah, 1 for 29. The
Go
big
ahead.
four.
You talk about it.
I already know who you're talking about. You're talking about Schwarber.
Talk about it. Thank
Turner,
God he got it.
Harper,
Thank God the one guy got a hit.
Castellanos, 1 for 28 in games 6 and 7. Obviously, that's what killed him. The bats got cold at the wrong time.
Cold. They got frigid.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed. Not gonna lie, I really wanted Philly to advance. Bryce Harper, my boy. Really love seeing him in the playoffs.
Man, I cannot wait. No, I'm just excited to talk.
What about Bryce Harper? Because he lost?
No, you'll see. That's great.
I know Bryce Harper.
By the way,
has won a World Series in his 12-year career.
Any NBA fans out there? No, it's been tip off. Boston Celtics just won 108-104 against the Knicks to start the season. A lot of people got them as a championship favorite. Anyway,
yeah, I want to talk about Boston later. They're good. Yeah, man, just bats fell apart, and then they messed up their pitching rotation. They bring Wheeler in last night in the 7th, I think, 6th or 7th.
7th.
Yeah, I mean, it was terrible. It never came in like that during regular whole season. Just really messed up that bullpen, messed up the pitching. Just not a good sign. You got to win one at home. I mean, you're at home to close it out. You got to win one. Hats off to Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll tore them apart.
Yeah.
Are you fixing your mic there?
No, I'm just ready, waiting for you to when you're done. I got a good take.
Ready to pounce? Go for it, baby. Go for it.
I want to take my hat. I took my hat off. I don't know if y'all are watching. If anybody's out there watching, but I did just take my hat off. My hat's off to the Phillies this year. What an incredible offense they had in the postseason. The bats that they had were absolutely historic. The things that they did to the Braves, the NLDS, the way they dominated pitching was absolutely just. I've never seen anything like it. Like, it was almost like every batter they had was going to come up and hit one out, especially at home. But
here's the but.
Here it is. Here's why I'm going to put my hat back on. All right.
Me in business.
Phillies. 1. I understand pitching Ranger Suarez in Game 7. Absolutely great move by the manager. Pitch him. The dude's been lights out the first 4 innings of every outing he's had. Why in the world do you wait to put Zach Wheeler in when you're already down 4-2? You put him in immediately. As soon as Suarez gave up that one run or almost gave up a run, I go ahead and get him in there. You get him in there, and then you have a chance to win that game, because then Wheeler's probably not going to give up any runs. He can go the length of that game. You put him in the 3rd inning, he can go the rest of that game. He's not going to give up a run. Phillies may win that game 2-1 because they scored 2. So, back to what I was saying. They
gave up the run in the top of the 1st, right?
Yeah, they have to run on top of the 1st. So I go ahead and I keep Suarez and I keep him in there. I'm talking about when they got in trouble and was getting ready.
4th or 5th.
When he started giving up, when he gave up the 3 earned,
3
2 other earned.
Yeah, it's 3-1.
You put Wheeler in there.
3-2.
You don't. I mean, because here's my thing: you put Wheeler in the 7th inning, it's 4-2. All you're doing is saying, "All right, they're not going to score anymore." But at that point, it's like, man, we only got 3 innings. We got 9 outs to get these 2 runs. I get it, the way the bats were, but they were so cold.
Right.
But I want to, and all the Philly fans,
I need y'all don't watch. People don't watch baseball. That's how quick it can happen.
Oh yeah, within a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
But I hope there is some Philadelphia fans out there actually do listen to this, and I want you all to not like me for this comment.
Oh God.
You all stand by your team and act like you all are the brotherhood, and you are glad that people don't like you. You left that. They were people leaving that stadium in the 7th inning last night. Bryce Harper still had 1 more, if not 2 more at bats. Schwarber had 2 more at bats. Turner had 2 more at bats. Your best hitters had at least 2 more at bats in that game, and the fans were already leaving. Like,
you don't quit on your team. I agree.
Not with that offense at all.
I agree with that.
Not with that offense at all.
I thought you was going to take this somewhere else, but that's fact.
I mean, it's the first ever Game 7 in Philadelphia history, and your moment is Well, I left in the 7th because I didn't believe in my team could pull it off. You're down 2 runs. I watched the Phillies score 10 runs on the Braves in 2 innings. I watched them score 6 runs in 1 inning. I watched them steal 12 bases in 3 innings.
You tell him, buddy. Tell him.
If I claim to be passionate and everything, but let me tell you, Philadelphia Philly fans, that is the most Washington Nationals move I've ever seen in sports history. Go ahead and call. I hope you are Cowboys fans too, because you don't deserve to be Eagles fans. Because if you're leaving that game early, you need to be a Dallas Cowboy fan.
He went all in on that take.
But
give this boy some milk.
But back to it. Again, what the Phillies did, that offense, that was electric. That was absolutely some of the. As much as I hated it, and I hated it.
It was good. It was good baseball all the way around. Bats, pitching, everything. They looked World Series favorites.
The last thing I want to say too, I want to know who came up to the D-backs manager, player, coach, fan. I want to know who it was came up to him before Game 6 and said, "This is where Philadelphia is beating us. This is what we need to do," because whatever happened between Game 5 and Game 6, the D-backs shut those bats down. The major bats went 1 for 29, and the only one was a single by Kyle Schwarber in this Game 7.
Yeah.
Harper
Diamondbacks.
4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Diamondbacks, were lowest seed entering playoffs, so nobody picked them. Nobody picked these two teams at all.
The D-backs lost their last 4 games of the regular season.
Yeah, came in last place. The last spot you can possibly get in the playoffs for National League, and now
same spot the Phillies were in last year.
That's how it always goes, though, man. Normally, you always got that one team.
Is seeding overrated?
No, I don't think so. What do you think? Do you think seeding's overrated?
I think it's a little bit to talk about. Braves number 1 out. Dodgers.
What with the break? Is that what you're getting at?
No. I'm just saying.
Or just seeding in general.
I think you say, all right, this is my, 12 teams?
Yeah.
Here they are. Let's shake them up. Game 1.
Shake them up, baby.
You made, that's what I'm saying, though. What's the point of seeding them? The D-backs just proved they were the worst thing. They had the least amount of chance to make it.
That's with anything, though. Anytime you do a playoff, college football's getting ready to go to that. It's going to be a 12-team playoff.
Their reliever, that Sawalek guy, I think his name's Sawalek. He made his first major league appearance on September 12th. He pitched 10 games in the regular season. He's already pitched 9 in the postseason and has yet to get up a run.
He's good.
D-backs.
I'm back stuff.
Yeah,
I like it, man. Somebody different. All right, so we talked a little bit about baseball there. Hess, who wins the World Series?
D-backs in 7.
D-backs in 7. I got the Rangers in 7.
Hey, shout out there to Evan Carter, guys. Evan Carter.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, the native at Goods, tearing up the 12 games he's played in? 12. He's been on base at all 12 games.
I think he had 2 ribbies the other night, right?
Yep. And one more thing. Ketel Marte, if he has, in the next 3 games, if he gets at least 1 hit in those next 3 games, he will tie Derek Jeter for the longest hit streak in postseason history. He already set the National League record for 16 games. He's going for the postseason record. So he'd do it. You have to do it 4 games, but that dude's doing things too.
That back can't 3.
Don't want him to break it. Just tie it.
Just tie it. Yeah, he can't break my boy. Okay. No. I'd be heartbroken.
That'd be all right. I think it's cool though. It's another infield.
Derek, you're up.
You know why he wears? Who his idol?
Maybe
was
next year, rookie. Huh?
Derek Jeter.
What about Derek Jeter?
That was his idol growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, man, that's impressive. He's mine too. And God, look at
you.
God.
Yeah, Reds fan. Go Hunter Green, right?
Yeah. Go Hunter Green, baby.
Kroger.
Big Reds. Joey Votto. Let's go.
Big Red Machine.
Big Red Machine. Cool place to watch a ball game if you haven't been there, folks. Yeah. One thing, too, if you haven't tuned in yet, Hess and I, one of our goals before we die is to see every baseball stadium. Yep. We love some baseball, so we knocked out Cincinnati this year. It's a quick, easy trip. Very fun place to watch a baseball game, though. We watched him play his Atlanta Braves. But one thing we're wanting to do, I'm a huge Yankees fan. He's a huge Braves fan, but we're not trying to just see Yankees, Braves everywhere we go. We're trying to see multiple teams, every stadium. So
I think what we're talking about, Colorado maybe next year?
Might be flying out to the Rockies this coming season. So, It'd be fun. If
That'll be
you have
great.
any places we need to go or check out, if we do fly out to Colorado, please let us know.
Or, hey, if there's any major league stadiums you've been to, you're like, hey, go
Yeah,
to this
you're
before you go to
you recommend
Colorado.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recommend them to us. We'll go to them.
Yeah, send us your favorite baseball park that you've ever been to, if you've been to any. So
Yeah.
send them to us.
Well, guys, that's our baseball segment. World Series is going to be great. I mean, it's always great. I watch it no matter who's in it. I'm excited about it. But like I said, D-backs in 7. Castle says Rangers in 7. So we're expecting 7 games, or we're both being optimistic and hoping we get 7 games because we don't want baseball to end. But before we leave baseball, we do want to say, if you all were following our social media today, I was got some news relayed to me, and then seen it on Twitter and some other things. New York Sports New York SNY was reporting that the Yankees and Padres have been in soft discussion, nothing major, about the kind of filling it out to see about maybe making a blockbuster deal to bring Juan Soto to the Yankees. So it looks like that's actually a possibility. They were talking about it. That almost happened at the trade deadline, but the Yankees wouldn't give away a prospect or something. So
correct.
That's interesting. I mean, I see it. Soto's
in other news in New York, I'm not trying to just be biased toward my team, but they did fire their hitting coach, so he's not coming back. So that's
they
good.
need to fire Boone.
They need to fire their whoever their facility trainers are. And,
they need to fire Boone.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's terrible, but he got him through this year, so we'll see what happens.
Got him through this year.
Another mediocre season, baby.
Yeah.
As long as we finish 82-80, we're good, baby.
It don't matter though. You ain't beating the Orioles in that division for a while.
That's debatable.
Nah, it's not debatable.
Juan Soto.
You bring Juan Soto in, that changes things a little bit.
God, yeah, it changes your daggone payment plan. God,
that's all right. Y'all got it. Anyway, guys, let's move on to let's get off baseball a little bit. We love some baseball here, but hey, let's talk about some college football. We got some huge games coming up this weekend. I'm going to go ahead and throw out the ones we're getting ready to cover here. We got the big Louisville Duke matchup, which is big for the ACC. The implications in that game is going to be absolutely just huge, depending on who wins that game. Oregon, Utah, college game days there. That's big for the Pac-12. Georgia plays a team from Gainesville. That's going to be interesting. Go to the first game. The Bulldogs don't have Brock Bowers.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Yep. And then got the Kentucky-Tennessee game. Can Tennessee rebound?
Bluegrass Bowl, baby.
After the embarrassing second half against Alabama.
Let's not talk about it. That's last week.
And the other one that I like this one. This was probably my favorite one that we're going to talk about.
This is my pick.
Old Dominion, James Madison. 2 Virginia schools here that a lot of people ain't going to talk about. And actually, you want to start with that one? You want to go ahead and just start and get the Virginia?
ODU and JMU.
Yeah, but you want to start with that one?
Yeah, why not?
I'll go ahead.
Why not?
Let me go ahead and start.
You go ahead. Start it off, man.
I just want to go ahead and I kind of touched base on the last episode 5. JMU is actually in a 2-year transition probation, I guess you could call it. NCAA rules that if you move up from FCS to FBS, it takes 2 years to fully become verified and certified as a FBS school.
Yeah, it's BS.
You got that right. They finally actually did get ranked. The NCAA went ahead and allowed the votes to count toward them, so they actually finally got ranked this week. They're actually 25th in the country. But as far as any statistical things that happen with the quarterback's defense, anything, it does not count. And they cannot play in their conference championship, even though they're absolutely dominating I think they're in the American, maybe? SoCon.
I think American. Hang on.
Whatever conference they're in one of those littler conferences. But anyway, they're dominating. They're undefeated this year. They had their defensive ends leading the country in Sun Belt. Yeah, they're dominating that. They're beating every team by at least 20 in that conference. Their defensive ends leading the country in sacks. He's averaging almost 2 sacks per game. He's already got 15 on the year.
That's insane.
He's leading the country by, I think, 2.5 sacks, and it don't count. JMU can't even put it in their record books. Like, this season don't even count. Like, it's like they didn't have a football program.
Not even cool, man.
Like, I get 1 year.
Is he a senior?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Truly.
But
probably a junior or senior, but hopefully he gets to the draft.
I mean, he should. He's dominating. But I mean, they're dominating all the way around, and they get no recognition for it. Like, they're probably going to finish as the best at-large school who could possibly make a big bowl, and now they can't be in it. And I think that's just crap. But
that's terrible.
if you want to talk about this game, though, I am excited about this game. If you want to talk about it, go ahead and start it off about what we're seeing, what we expect.
Yeah, so JMU got Jordan McLeod. If y'all don't know who he is, he's the QB for James Madison. Absolute stud. 1,696 passing yards, 15 TDs, 4 interceptions. That brings it out to a 79% QBR and ranks 16th in the country.
16th. But it don't count.
This is why this team's absolutely dominating, honestly, is Jordan McLeod. And it has to, just talk about their defense. They're only allowing 290 passing yards. That's pretty high, but the rush game's down to only 36.1 rush yards per game.
Yeah, they're dominating.
Granted, I mean, the biggest team I guess they played so far is Marshall or UVA, just looking at their previous schedule. But, Old Dominion's coming in here. They're 4-3.
Old Dominion's one of those. Troy game.
Yeah, Troy's pretty tough.
But they beat them 16-14.
Yeah, Old Dominion's one of them sneaky teams. They have beat Tech the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. So we can see what happens. I didn't write down any real stats about Old Dominion, just being honest, since they are 4-3. They're averaging 358 yards per game, 197 in the air, 161.6 on the run.
You want to talk about ODU? I mean, I know we don't got much on them, but they did beat Appy State 28-21. That's probably their biggest win this year.
That's impressive.
Common opponent, there's Marshall, and they only lost 41-35.
Ooh, that's what I'm saying. They're not bad.
They only lost to Wake 27-24.
Their defense only allowing 239 passing yards per game and then 132 rushing.
McLeod
a little high on the rushing, but yeah, he probably will. They average 250 in the air. James Madison. So yeah, I think he'll have a killer game. I think we'll see James Madison improve to 8-0. What's that make them 5-0 in the conference? I guess
5-0 in the conference play.
Yeah. So
no. Yeah, Old Dominion isn't that. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, 5-0.
Yeah, so be 8-0 overall. I looked at the remaining schedule too for JMU. They got to beat Bucknell, should be a win. Sorry, they got UVA coming up.
ODU.
Sorry, these are teams they already played. Let me back this up. I wrote this down wrong. So still have Georgia State.
That's big.
Yeah, Georgia State's tough.
Yeah, they got their running backs leading the country in rushing.
Yeah, UConn, which is no slouch.
Yeah, 1-6.
App State, they got App State still, and then they got Coastal Carolina, who can also be tough.
Yeah, that's at Coastal.
So, still pretty tough little schedule. But I do think JMU can run the table. I think they can go undefeated all year if they really want to. Honestly, I think everything's in front of them. But I got JMU winning this one, 36-17. I think it should be a pretty easy win, and they definitely cover. So
yeah, I do too.
Who you got?
Oh yeah, it's JMU. I'm a defensive guy. You show me a good defense, I'm probably gonna lean toward it anyway. This game, it's a Sun Belt game. I get it, but JMU's about here beating teams like they need to be in ACC, and I'll say it's gonna be probably 28-7, 28-10 type game.
Oh wow!
I want to look ahead though to their game against Georgia State. Like I said, the leading rusher in the country is Marcus Carroll. He's Georgia State's running back. He's got 852 yards, 10 touchdowns. He's averaging 5 yards per carry on 169 carries. Dude's tearing it up. Georgia State's only got one loss. And, I think next week's kind of a down week for college football. I don't know. I haven't looked that far ahead. But that's a possible game.
A lot of homecomings next week. Yeah,
that's a possible game day place right there. Good, go small locations. So that might be a interesting little game to talk about next week. But yeah, I think again
we'll keep it on the radar.
Yeah, definitely we'll keep that one on the radar. But yeah, JMU wins this game easy. I don't think it's much of a game for them, but never know. College football's been weird this year, so we say this and then JMU gets beat 30. Like I said, 28-10. So
56-0.
maybe. But ODU is 3-1 in conference play, so.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I like I said, ODU can put you in a scare real quick. Ask some Hokies fans, if any Hokie fans are listening. Old Dominion, they do not want to schedule them, so I don't blame them. Don't blame them one bit. All right, so that wraps that one up. Where do you want to go to next, Mr. Hess? You want to go to Louisville and Duke?
Yeah, let's go to Louisville and Duke. I mean, we was kind of talking about some potential future ACC schools, so why not talk about current ACC schools?
Yeah, so Louisville's 18th, Duke's 20. This game is at Louisville.
Beautiful campus.
beautiful place. Nobody saw us out of Louisville this year, first year head coach.
Yeah.
They're tied right now second in the ACC with UNC. And then Duke is 2-1, so Duke's in third right now. So this does have some ACC implications. Top dog in that conference is still Florida State. They're undefeated. Honestly, I still don't see nobody touching Florida State. I think they win the ACC pretty easily. Honestly, I'd be surprised if they let that one slip away, which it could happen. But I look ahead and I look at Louisville's remaining schedule. They got Virginia Tech, Virginia, Miami, and Kentucky. That's a very tough schedule remaining. Then you look at Duke. They got Wake Forest, UNC, very tough game. Virginia and Pitt, which Virginia did beat UNC. So we'll see what happens. A big shakeup. What's your thoughts, Hess? What's your thoughts?
This is a big game right here for the ACC. If the winner of this game still controls their own destiny and has a chance to play Florida State in the ACC title game, the loser, you might as well go ahead and be ready for the Meineke Weed Eater Bowl, because that's probably where you're heading. But
he said the Weed Eater Bowl.
This all depends on Riley Leonard. If Riley Leonard's healthy, if Riley Leonard plays, Duke is probably a top 10 school this year. Their defense is absolutely – that defense is better than – I will go on a limb and say Duke's defense is probably the best defense if they was in the SEC. If they was in the SEC, they'd be the top defense in the SEC. That defensive line is huge. That defensive line –
That's debatable.
Well, look what they did against Florida State. That defensive line moved –
Sure,
4 or 5 star linemen. They moved. They were a
for
man
3 quarters.
Yeah, but the offense though. At that point, like a lot of people look at it, you experienced it this week. You got a top tier defense.
Yeah.
Your offense starts struggling. The defense get gassed, and the big hogs down low in the trenches. They're going to get gassed. But that defensive line is probably one of the best defensive lines I've seen in college football in the last 10 years.
It's good.
That's a really good defensive line. But if Riley Leonard plays, Riley Leonard's healthy, I don't see any reason why Duke doesn't win this game. But
have you heard any rulings on him yet? I haven't seen anything.
I ain't seen anything. I think they're kind of keeping a hush-hush because I think a lot of stuff got out earlier last week about and Florida State kind of game planned ahead of time. Yeah. Let's just hypothetical here. Let's go ahead and say Louisville wins this game. That Virginia Tech Louisville game becomes one of the biggest games in the country, because if Tech wins that game against Louisville next week.
Tech's got a Thursday night game, I think this Thursday, right?
They play
Thursday night.
They play tomorrow?
Yeah, they got Syracuse.
Ooh, they do.
Thursday night in Lane, baby.
In Lane. That's a happening place. Since you brought that up, it's only what
you mentioned Tech. I picked Tech in that game.
It's 2 hours up the road. 2 hours, hour and 45 up the road from us. And me and Castle, actually, my first ever college football game was Virginia Tech. It was Virginia Tech versus North Carolina. Definitely one of the coldest games we've ever been to in our life.
Absolutely.
But Thursday night in Lane, that atmosphere it's probably it's unmatched. It's incredible. But Tech 3-4 are probably big Louisville fans in this game, but I really think Duke wins this game, and Duke controls their own destiny. And if I'm Riley Leonard, we win this game, I'm coming for Florida State in the ACC title game, because I think they can beat them if they have Riley Leonard. So if you want to get my pick on that one, Duke wins this game. If Riley Leonard plays, Duke wins this game 21-14.
I like it. I got the same take. I'm sure all your analysts and everything got if Riley Leonard's playing, this game's going to be very close.
Hey, you know what the difference between those analysts and me and you are?
What's that?
We do our own research. They got interns to do it for them.
Oh, yeah, that's true. No, I actually paid a guy.
Oh, well, never
mind. Come write these notes and everything. Oh. Yeah, sorry about that.
My bad. Sit here and drink my
lemonade. Yeah, I meant to tell you. But anyway, yeah, so Louisville's a 4-point favorite in this one, obviously because it's home field advantage. And 2, you have the speculation of Riley Leonard. Later on in the week, once we know more about Riley Leonard, of course, that point's going to change. So if Riley Leonard's playing, I'm with Hess on this one. Jake Plummer is not having that good of a season. It started off pretty hot, but here lately it's been pretty terrible. A lot of turnovers. So give me Duke if Leonard's playing. Solid defense wins games. I got Duke winning 31-24.
I like it, man. I like it. Yeah, there's still nothing out. I don't see nothing out about Riley Leonard.
It's still too early.
Check one more source here. Yeah, I
it
mean,
is Wednesday night for us folks. So I mean, this game's not till Saturday,
Yeah,
so probably won't be anything out till about Thursday night.
there's
Friday
nothing
morning.
out right now about him other than the Florida State stuff. So
Yeah,
that
could be interesting. That game's huge. I'm looking forward to watching that one.
Actually, 3:30 game. It's on ESPN, so that'll be a fun game to watch. I'm excited about that one, and I'll actually get to watch.
Let me get a plug. Let me get a plug in here too for YouTube TV. Again, we're not sponsored by them, but I do recommend them for a streaming channel.
Yeah,
you can watch this thing called a multi-view, so you can watch up to 4 games at once.
And it don't have to be the same sport either.
No, it can be different sports. It's the greatest thing ever if you love sports like Hess and I.
Yeah.
We share an account, and yes, that's legal with YouTube TV. So you can share up to 3 primary accounts, I think it is, and if you pay for a premium plan, you can share up to 6 screens at once. So yeah, check them out. Give YouTube TV a follow, a payment each month.
Yeah, and
they would probably appreciate
if you
that.
decide to do YouTube TV. Be sure to message one of us on the social medias on one of our accounts, because if we use our email, if you use our email address that we use our account for, we get $50 off our next bill, and then for everyone we get another $50 off, and so do you. So
yes,
and you also got NFL Sunday tickets on YouTube TV now, and NBA League Pass for all you NBA fans. It's all on there.
It's all there, baby. Sports.
All right, man. Let's talk about this big Oregon-Utah game.
Huge.
This is big time right here. Big time Heisman things for Bo Nix.
Yes, sir. Bo Nix. Love me some Bo Nix.
Dan Landing here. This is probably, after the Washington game, this is probably the biggest game of his coaching career because of what it's going to mean.
Yes.
But it is.
They still got both these programs still have some big games left. That's the thing about the Pac-12 this year.
Yep.
If you tuned in last week or Sunday, I think was when we talked about this, or I can't remember, Sunday or Thursday.
Sunday.
Tune back into episode 5. We talked about, who we think's the best conference right now, and we're both saying the Pac-12. And it's showing out.
It's every week, man. It's every week.
Yeah. Oregon number 8 versus Utah number 13. It's at Utah. Both teams are 6-1. Let me get you with a quick fact here, Hess. Bo Nix, 182 for 232, 2,089 passing yards. You ready for this?
This is the best
19
one.
touchdowns.
19
touchdowns. 1 INT.
Yep, that's the best thing about it.
Ranks 9th in QBR at 83.3. Heisman candidate, still very high, in my opinion. Again, if you go back to that Washington game, he let them down. They end up losing that game 36-33.
They just didn't have big Penix energy.
Yeah, big Penix energy is what he needs. But he let him down the field. He got his kicker in field goal range, and he kicked it left, just a little wide. So, again, we might be talking about a different game today. If Oregon wins that game, they're top 5, top 4. Big implications. I love Oregon. I love Bo Nix. I've been saying it since he was at Auburn. You've always hated him. I love him. Was you about to change something?
Well, I mean, you gotta think here. All right, man.
I know he's at Auburn.
I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan, and that's Georgia's probably second biggest rival. They're probably tied even with the hate that we have for Tennessee. And I know there's a lot of people out there that listen. Personally, I grew up a Virginia Tech fan. I did. I love the Hokies. They were my team. They were from Virginia. Castle was always a Vols fan, but they never played each other. So it was like, what's the point? And I grew into liking Georgia. Found the love of my life. Decided, hey.
Whoa. This is sports.
Hey, I know. I just want to say, founder. Decided to dedicate myself to one school. I had a good chance. I didn't like what was going on with Tech after Beamer. I had an opportunity.
He's dedicated, guys. He's bought jerseys. He's bought flags. You name it. He's a dedicated.
And it's
Georgia
in all
fan.
sports. It's not just football, guys. It's basketball. It's even though it's been terrible.
I give him a hard time about being a Tech fan, but it's okay. No one says you can't pick schools or do what you want.
Yeah.
Be a fan of who you want to be.
And here's the thing too: a lot of those Virginia Tech fans out there that have gave me a hard time, they're football fans for Virginia Tech, but then they cheer for Duke in basketball. So I don't know how you actually do that and claim to be a Virginia Tech fan.
Ooh, that's tough.
But if that is you, if the shoe fits, you know who I'm talking to. But anyway, back to the Oregon-Utah game here.
Spicy up in here.
This game is going to be.
I'm trying to talk about Oregon and Utah. You're going on a rant here.
My thing with Bo Nix, though, he played at Auburn, and that was where his family went. He had alumni, and I just feel like at Auburn, the kid looked like he was entitled. Like, okay, I'm out here. I deserve to be here. I deserve to be the best man, the best quarterback here. And he didn't play like it. He never played like it. You've seen it in big games. Bo Nix choked. Dude gets to Oregon, gets with Dan Lanning, becomes a top 3 quarterback in college football.
He's good.
Oh,
He's
absolutely.
Good. You can always see it at Auburn. That's what I always said. That's why I liked him.
But
he just
that
he
one
swag,
interception is the biggest takeaway for me on this one. But
yeah,
and I know the country. Everybody's high on Oregon. I mean, why not? Dan Lanning's a great coach. That offense is absolutely explosive. They're averaging over 539 yards per game. They're tearing it up. Is Rising coming back this year for Utah?
I don't think he's coming back this game.
That hurts. They really need Rising back.
Yeah, they got Bryson Barnes and that other quarterback. Yeah. Can't think of his name.
He's a freshman. Snaps. He's a freshman. There's a lot of the running.
Keep going back and forth. That's what they've been doing the whole season. It has worked. I mean, they're 6-1.
I've been a big. This is good. I'm kind of
their defense though. The defense is why.
But I'm going to contradict. I'm going to contradict myself here because I said I'm a defensive guy. I think Utah's got a great defense, but
I'm going.
Oregon's offense is so explosive, and honestly, their defense is actually not that bad. If you look at their schedule, who they play, they only give out 312 yards per game, and they're holding teams at 95 yards per game rushing. To see who they played and what they've done, they're a top 10. They're a top 10 defense in college football.
Oh, absolutely.
They're easily the 8th best team. Honestly, you take away their one loss to Washington, this is a top 4 team in the country, and it's a 3:30 game in Utah. It's not if it was a night game in Utah, this prediction will be a little bit different. But I don't even think you need to worry about watching this game at 3:30. I think you need to worry about watching Louisville and Duke because I think it's going to be a better game. I think Oregon wins this game. They score 40 plus, and Utah's lucky to score 20.
Wow. Okay, so you're saying 3 scores probably?
Yeah. Bo Nix is on one right now, and I think he's out to prove, hey, the Washington game, I lost, but it wasn't my fault for losing, and I think he's trying to prove that. I think he needs to be a Heisman front runner.
Well, he is. I mean, he's top of the pack. I got Oregon too. You mentioned something pretty interesting there. Their defense, they only allow 217.4 yards in passing. Yeah. Utah's the exact same. We're always talking about Utah's defense. Here's a fun fact for you. Oregon's rush offense allows 95.1. Here's where Utah's defense is a little bit better. They allow 78. Big whoop. We're talking, 20 yards, less than 20 yards. So, Oregon's got a 68% chance according to, predictions and everything with Vegas. And I like that prediction too. I really do think Oregon is the real deal. I'll be surprised. Oregon's got a tough schedule coming up. They got Cal, USC, Arizona State, and Oregon State. So this is a must-win game for them.
Good one.
Yeah, last game of the season. Still tough. I mean, still got USC. Don't sleep on USC.
Talk about that too. We're talking about Utah.
But let me get my pick real quick. Right. I picked the Ducks as well. But I don't got them breaking 40 in this one just because of that defense. So I'm going to say it's going to be a close-scoring game, 38-35 Ducks.
Ooh, close game. So you're watching that one. All right.
Yeah.
You mentioned Oregon State there. We're talking about defenses.
The Beavers.
I talk about the Beavers, and I've talked about them a lot this year. Damian Martinez is their running back.
Mm-hmm.
That game, Oregon State beat Utah 21-7. All 3 touchdowns were scored by Damian Martinez. Utah, yes, they have a good defense, but the other teams that they played, USC, Cal, UCLA, and Weber State. I don't know about Weber State, but the other big teams there, they're pass heavy. So I kind of think their rushing defense is not seen. Oregon can hit you with everything. They can hit you running, they can hit you passing, and that's where I think Utah's going to struggle. I think they're going to stop one, but you can't stop the other. So that's why I think this game. I don't think this game's close. I think Oregon dominates, and I think Utah falls to 6-2 and 3-2 in conference play.
I like it.
Yeah, boy.
Bold takes, baby. Bold takes. So let's get into the real games this weekend. Now that we've had our fun with all these pansy conferences. The SEC.
SEC.
Just kidding, folks. We all know Pac-12's legit this year, like I said.
Legit.
Don't take me serious for everything I say. So
right. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Georgia, number 1, top dog versus Florida Gators in Jacksonville. What time is this game? 7 o'clock?
No, it's 3:30.
Oh, it's 3:30 game too. Wow, we got some good ones at 3:30.
I think it's
Is this on CBS?
Yes, always.
Yeah, CBS on this one. I figured.
Yep,
so.
3:30 CBS.
Yep. So another good game at 3:30, folks. Like I said, if you have that multi-view, you can watch them all. So last team to beat UGA in 2020 was who, Hess?
Florida.
The Gators. I cannot believe I'm actually rooting for the Gators in this one, to be honest with you. That's makes me want to throw up in my mouth. But let's just be honest. UGA is still the team to beat. They're 4-0 in conference play. Florida, surprisingly, is 3-1 in conference play. Only loss coming to Kentucky on the road, 33-14. If you was to compare previous games, you would think Georgia wins this one easy because they beat Kentucky 51-13. But we know how the SEC is, and we know how college football is. That don't matter. So anything can go in this game. I think Florida is going to play UGA very tough. On paper, UGA on paper should dominate this game. They're averaging 509.4 yards per game, 337 passing, 172.4 rushing. Florida's at 421, 280 passing, 141.3 rushing. But the big difference in this game is going to be the defense. UGA's defense, rush defense, is very, very solid, only allowing 91.4 rushing yards per game. Again, folks, I mean, defense wins games, folks. So on paper, this one should be easy pick. It should be the Dogs. I never cheer for Florida, but in this case, I need them to shock Georgia, just for Tennessee to possibly have any standing chance. I need Florida to win this game, but I just don't think I can do it, and I don't think it happens this year. So I am going to go with Georgia 28-26. Hey, I picked Georgia, okay? Leave me alone.
28-26. You know what?
I don't want to pick it.
You know what? I don't want to. You know what I hate about that take? Is this game's at 3:30.
That I picked Georgia or Florida. I don't want to pick either one of them. I want them both to lose.
All right. So this game's at 3:30. You hope Florida wins. Let's say Florida does win. Okay, you're like, I've got hope, and then you lose to Kentucky.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Anyway, big thing here. A lot of people, myself included, I bagged on Georgia's offense this year. Mike Bobo, I just feel like he's been so conservative. Not as conservative as some other teams in the country that I've watched, but Carson Beck's in the Heisman talks now. I mean, I'm not saying he's a favorite, but he's actually one of the teams.
Oh, my God.
They got him right now. I've seen the odds today. They got him as 5,000 to 1.
My stress ball.
They got him as one of the 5 players that could go.
He said Carson Beck's in the Heisman.
That's what Vegas has. That wasn't me. That was what Vegas had. They had Penix, they got J.J. McCarthy as the favorite, Penix, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, somebody else, and then it was Carson Beck.
I cannot believe they put Carson Beck in there. Go back to your Sphere, Vegas. God bless.
Hey, speaking of the Sphere, you know who owns the Sphere? James Nolan, the owner of the Knicks. He tried to find somebody to sponsor their team, and nobody
wasn't it like $6 billion or something?
Mm-hmm. Nobody wanted to sponsor the Knicks, so he needed a $30 million sponsor for the Knicks this year, and nobody wanted to sponsor him, so he sponsors the Knicks with the Sphere. He sponsors his own team.
Pocket change, baby.
Yeah. Anyway, back to this game. A lot of people have been sleeping on Carson Beck. But dude's been tearing it up, and I mean, honestly, I didn't realize how good he's been, but he's been very, very sleepy good this year. 173 completions on 235 attempts, which is crazy, though, because we're dominating through the air. They're not dominating with the run game. They're averaging 337 yards passing.
Oh, buddy.
337 yards passing per game.
Don't lose that voice again.
And they're not rushing the ball that well. They're getting a lot of rush yards from multiple backs. But Carson Beck only has 4 interceptions on 12 touchdowns. He's threw for 2,147 yards.
Oh, wow.
The big thing here, though, the big thing is his leading receiver, Brock Bowers, who has 41 receptions for 567 yards, is out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Well, now it would be more like 4 to 5 weeks. So he's already missed a week because of the bye week last week. But is what it is. A lot of people aren't talking about this either. Ladd McConkey came back 2 weeks ago, which was the leading receiver for the team last year. So that development, that's going to be there. So you shouldn't see much of fall-off on the passing game. But Georgia does run a lot of their offense through Brock Bowers, where they're trying to get him the ball or use him to clear out space for these other players. I do think Georgia's going to have to learn to run the football a little bit more with the absence of Brock Bowers, because you're one-dimensional when you start facing these good teams and these good defenses. They're going to make you beat them with your weakness. And Georgia right now needs to find somebody to be that running back. They need to find that Todd Gurley. They need to find that Elijah Holyfield type running back, Dalvin Cook, or Cook and Sonny Michel, that type running back. They need
God, must be nice to keep naming all those off like that.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
But hey,
give me Kamara. That's all I got.
Hey, you got one of my favorite backs in the country, Jalen Wright. So.
Yeah, we'll get into him in a minute.
But this game, does it worry me for the fact that Brock Bowers is not there and the way Georgia's played in the first half of a lot of games? Yes.
Absolutely.
But Kirby Smart has never lost a game after a bye week. He averaged on opponents, which every year it seems like our bye week falls before we play Florida. He averages beating opponents by 27.5 points after bye weeks. Florida, their quarterback, Mertz.
Time for a change.
Not that great. Not my favorite guy in the world. I mean, his stats are comparable to Beck's, if you really want to be honest. He's got
garbage.
He's threw for 1,897 yards, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Garbage.
Florida probably does have the most underrated wide receiver in the country, and Purcell. He's got 44 receptions for 619 yards and 3 touchdowns. That dude's really good. But
garbage.
He ain't going to do much against Georgia's defense. Georgia's defense is Georgia's defense.
Yeah, go Vols.
Go ahead. I'm going to give you 2 predictions here. Halftime score.
I'm waiting. I've been waiting. I've told you my score. I've been waiting.
I know. Halftime score is going to be Florida.
Oh, he's giving it a 2-quarter score.
Florida 10, UGA 9 be halftime score.
Yeah, because y'all played terrible first half.
And okay. Georgia's going to win this game 41-10.
Woo! Okay.
But I hate
41-10, folks. You heard it here first. I'm saying 28-26. I'm at least going to give Florida a chance. I mean, they could surprise y'all. Only real bad game they had against was Kentucky and Utah at the beginning of the season. But we'll see. It's not at the Swamp, so that's a big deal.
It is not at the Swamp. I mean, it's a neutral site in Jacksonville. Really want to go to that, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here. My bold take here is Oscar Delp is going to lead the Georgia Bulldogs in receiving this game. The backup for Brock Bowers, sophomore, number 4. Remember the name.
Like
Dude's stud. He just
remember the name, folks.
Oscar Delp.
What a name.
He's actually bigger. He's 6'5", 245 pounds. He's actually taller.
Oscar Delt is what you need to call him. My God.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah,
Deltoid over there. God bless.
I'm not going to give Florida any credit in this game because I think they're a waste of a program.
Oh gosh,
they've had
throwing shots, man. Everybody knows I'm a huge Gator fan.
They've had one Christian and a bunch of killers, so I'm not really pumped about that. Hey,
come on,
Tebow.
Man. I love Tebow.
Love Tebow.
Okay,
Tebow's great. What else did they have?
This guy's throwing shots tonight. I'm gonna have to get him in bed.
I don't like Florida.
Obviously.
Yeah, not a Florida fan.
Yeah, I love him. You know how much I love him.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next SEC game. Actually, the real important SEC game, the Bluegrass Bowl. We got Kentucky versus Tennessee. You get that headset back on. My gosh, both teams are 5-2, 2-2 in conference. We're playing for second to last place in this game. Vols coming off a terrible second half. Just horrid. Gave up 27 unanswered at Denny Bryant Stadium against Alabama. Big key takeaway a lot of people are not talking about.
Bryant Denny. It's fine, though. They probably don't know it's Bryant Denny in Alabama either. Have you seen the education levels of those people down there?
What did I say?
You said Denny Bryant.
Denny Bryant. Yeah, we're going to go down to Denny's here in a minute and eat some breakfast. My bad, folks. Good catch there, Hess.
Roll Tide.
But roll Tide, baby. Shout out to Scott Hess. Big Roll Tide fan. Appreciate the text this weekend. Don't worry, we'll get you back. But anywho, big talk that nobody's talking about is the bye week that Kentucky is coming off. So bye week is huge. It gives your players a little bit of time for rest, gives you time to look at the playbook, gives you time to watch film. So all that plays a factor. My X factor in this game is going to come down to quarterback play. You got Joe Milton, 140 for 223, 1,535 yards passing, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Middle of the pack, ranked 60th. You got Devin Leary, 1,377 passing yards, 14-7. TD to interception ratio ranks 90th. So the passing offense is still not there for both of these teams. On paper, both these teams are very similar. They're about a 50-50 blend, about 50% running, 50% passing. Everybody knows most of Tennessee's passing came in the first half against Alabama, and that was about it. Kentucky's kind of the same way. They lean very heavy on the run with Ray Davis, who's an absolute stud as a running back. And then you also got Jalen Wright, who's also an absolute stud. So I think this could be also a very run-heavy game. Davis is averaging 7 yards per carry. Wright's averaging 6.5. You look at the matchups of who we played. I think that's where that difference comes in. It's gonna be a tough game. I think we're going to see something similar like we saw a couple weeks back with Texas A&M and Tennessee. It's going to be who makes the plays. Turnovers is going to be a big thing too. Leary's turned the ball over quite a bit. So we'll see what happens. Who do you got in this one, Hess? I'll let you give your picks first.
Well, here we go. This is a big game right here. It's a big game for both programs.
This is a big game for both programs.
Like I said, both teams are 2-2 in conference play. I watched Heupel's press conference this week. Why, I don't really know. But
he's becoming a Tennessee fan, folks. Just it's deep down in him. He likes them.
It's really not that. It's really like, I don't know. I've talked to some Tennessee fans outside of you this week too. And
wait, there's more of us?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're still hanging around. Wow.
Heupel did talk about in his press conference about he's really proud of the preparation y'all have had for this game. But I think it's funny that Kentucky moved this game from a 12 o'clock kick and then y'all lose to Bama to it becomes a night game, knowing that historically y'all struggled at night in Lexington. I can't remember what the records are, but I did see that y'all do struggle at night in Lexington for whatever reason. Maybe it's called this Kroger Field. I don't know. But
Kroger's underrated, man. It's one of the tougher places to play.
Man, last week, not to beat a dead horse here, man, but yeah, you all should have won that game, and the way you finished just wasn't great. But
about to hear about this freaking game once more. Listen, I haven't slept. I've cried every night. I went to bed.
That's all I'm saying.
Pulled out all my bricks from my house. Like, what else do you want?
My big thing is, which team can develop a passing game in this game?
Right. Comes down to QB play.
And I've seen at times, I haven't watched many Kentucky games this year, but I have seen at times they've actually been explosive at times, very few times, but they've been explosive in the passing game. I've seen you all be very explosive in the passing game, but I've also seen what
we have the fewest explosive plays in any team in the SEC,
and which is
of 20 yards or more,
which is crazy after what y'all had last year.
So,
and I don't like the play call. I've said it time and time again. I do not like the play call on Tennessee's offense. I think this is a trap game. Kentucky's coming off 2 straight losses, one to Georgia 51-13, and then they lost to Missouri last week or the week before last, whatever that was, 38-21. Y'all are coming off an emotional, just, excuse my French, ass-kicking in the second half that you took against Alabama. My prediction is on this one is it's going to be Kentucky 17, Tennessee 10. I think y'all do lean on the run game. Granted, I think y'all can win this game. Y'all should win this game. I'm not saying y'all shouldn't win this game. There's something about it. I just don't feel. I feel like Tennessee's in a trap game here. I feel like Kentucky's coming into this game like this is their Super Bowl. I think they're going to want it a little bit more. And this is actually, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is going to be my hot take for the week. If Tennessee goes into Lexington, which honestly I hope they don't. I want to see Tennessee be successful for you. And, I mean, I got a lot of Tennessee friends that are fans of that program, and I want to see them do good. But my bold take here is y'all lose this game. The fan base in Tennessee, not you, not like
forever, baby.
Not Daniel McClanahan, not some of these, like, hardcore Tennessee fans. I'm talking about these ones that are, like, throw the balls. They're going to run Heupel out of town. They're gonna boo him. They're gonna question him because of what you had last year, and even though the expectations were foggy this year coming in because of Milton, at times what it could have been, you should have beat Florida, you should have beat Bama, and now you got this game against Kentucky. You lose this game. We know how Tennessee fans get. We know how that organization that's ran. Yep. I worry if Heupel stays there after this year if you lose this game. Not saying it's going to happen, but I
like that.
I do feel like it's a trap game for you all. I do think you all should win the game. If y'all win, okay, they should have, but y'all should have won against Florida. You should have won against Bama. So this time I'm going to say you should win this game.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
You're not going to win this one. So I'm saying Kentucky 17-10. Y'all will end up winning this game 42-17.
Okay. Yeah. I like it. I like the take, man. My thing is, both teams are backed up agast the wall right
Absolutely.
now. Everything's in front of them. Like you just mentioned, Tennessee's coming off a very emotional loss. I'm the opposite. I think Heupel gets his team motivated. I think they come out, play some of the best football we've seen all year. It's going to show what they're made of, honestly. And, and same for Kentucky. It's going to show what they're made of. That's why I think it's going to be a gritty game. It's going to be tough. I think it is going to be one, whichever quarterback can produce. Can Milton run the ball like he did successfully against Alabama in the first half? Can he do that against Kentucky? I think all that plays a big factor. I never pick against my balls. I'll die before I pick against them. So give me 24-20 balls on the road. Big thing too. So my key in this, not only is Milton going to have a decent game like he did against Alabama, he's going to have to produce about the same numbers and everything. They're going to have to score in the red zone. That's huge. The red zone's been an issue all season. Can they figure out the red zone on the road against Kentucky? And Hess left the pod. Just going to go get... Oh. Okay. All righty.
Sorry, I just wanted to get my Kentucky bourbons.
Oh, his Kentucky bourbons. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, not sponsored.
Not sponsored. I just wanted to get them out because
he's just an alcoholic.
Either way, this stuff's going to be drank like crazy in that game. So,
yeah, if they lose, you might need to call me. Check on me. I'll be pretty. I'll be down bad. Yeah, I don't even want to think like that, baby. We're going to come in there with a positive mindset. We're going to play some good football. We're going to play some Tennessee football. So, all right, let's get on to our next take because I know we're already over the hour mark, which is crazy because we could talk about sports all night.
Oh, yeah, man. Loving it.
But best one-loss college football team in America right now. Who you got?
Best one-loss team?
Best one-loss team. Don't you dare pick my team.
Alabama.
What? You rolling Tide right now?
Rolling
Golly.
Tide. Because
he's rolling Tide.
I have a hot
roll down the toilet.
Because I have a hot take. But go ahead.
Alabama. I'm gonna say Oregon. Again, we just talked about them. They had a chance to beat Washington. They lost by a field goal. Bo Nix is legit. Their defense is legit. They got great wide receiver core, good running back, great coach.
Agreed.
Just a very, very solid program. So I got the Oregon Ducks being the number one loss team.
I like that, and the reason I don't say Oregon is because every freaking time I think Alabama's going to lose a game, they end up winning. They find a way. Alabama. They find a way to win. Nick Saban's a great coach. Can't take nothing away from him. Don't like the man. Well, I take that back. Do I respect the man? Absolutely. I think Nick Saban's one of the greatest coaches ever. And I don't.
Sucks when you're a fan of the other team you got to play. Yeah. It does suck.
But
so if you're an Alabama fan, he's God to you. But
But that's why I say Bama. But we keep saying they're going to lose. They should lose this one. Milroe's terrible. They shouldn't win. He can't play quarterback. They shouldn't do this, and they keep doing it.
Pretty good.
But I think there's a 2-loss team out there that's better than every one of these 1-loss programs.
Ooh.
And that's LSU.
I knew he's going to say it. LSU. They've turned it on.
If LSU wins this weekend, they go into a bye week.
Then they got Bama.
They go to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to say it because every time I do, what happens, that's what happens. But they run the table here. Beat Bama. They win the SEC. They get the representation for the West. Play Georgia in the SEC title game. They beat my dogs in the SEC title game. 2 losses. But their 2 wins are against Georgia and Alabama, and they win the SEC title. Can you keep them out of the college football playoff?
I don't think so if you beat them 2 top
They'd
dogs.
be the first 2-loss team to ever make it.
I think that's a possibility.
And one of their losses is to possibly, at that time,
this depends too.
if all that happens, Florida State would be 1 or 2 in the country. So their only other loss would come to the number 1 or number 2 team in the country.
Yeah,
man,
that's a good take right there. That's something to definitely think about.
Can Brian Kelly do it? Probably not, because he can't win the big game. But it's there.
You're talking about Bama. I mean, they still got decent, tough schedule. Georgia has a pretty tough schedule coming up.
Every game we got finished other than Georgia Tech's a ranked opponent, unless you all lose a Kentucky.
Yeah. Just make sure you nail the ball against Georgia Tech. Shout out to Miami.
Yeah, good job, Miami. Nail the football.
Yeah, way to go. But let's wrap up this college because I know we're pushing up on time a little bit. So yeah, wrapping up the college. Looking forward to some great football this weekend. Hopefully, all our listeners, send us some feedback, guys. We're going to have some polls, going to have some voting.
Yep.
Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We try to keep clips up, throughout the week.
Definitely on TikTok.
TikTok's doing very well. So yeah, check us out on there. Yep, need more followers, likes, you name it. Just help us, share us. I mean, it really does help us out, and we really, really, truly do appreciate it. Like we said before, nothing goes unnoticed. So definitely appreciate y'all supporting us.
I'm not trying to tell y'all guys what to do. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. I love it. But if we do put a poll out there, if you don't mind, maybe this upcoming week, I just kind of want to see what happens. If you do vote, share the poll. If you vote on it, share the poll, get it out there. I want to hear what your Facebook or your people are thinking about it. Maybe I'll get some other people into it.
We've got some feedback from people across the U.S., which is really cool.
We've had some crazy feedback this past week.
Yeah. So that's been cool to see. So yeah, like I said, just keep sharing it, helping us out. It helps us out. We want to grow the podcast and get more listeners and we want more takes on sports. There's a lot of people who love sports. So, and if you want us to cover a different sport or anything too, just reach out, let us know. Yeah. We'd be more than happy to cover it. If we don't know about it, like I said, we'll research it and try our best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, guys, I appreciate you guys. There's been a lot of people that's walked up to me over the last couple of days and like, hey man, we're ready for that next episode.
Got his autograph. It's crazy.
Yeah, the guy asked him for his autograph. But me and him went to the gym this morning. A guy walked right out of the gym. First thing he said to us was, "Hey man, loving y'all's podcast." Like stuff like that means
a lot.
Means a lot to us. And anyway, let's move on, guys. NFL. Yeah. Let's talk about Thursday night football.
NFL.
Thursday night.
What about it, man? Thursday night, we got a big game. This is a big game.
I still hate the fact that it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that does suck. I'm not paying for that. Sorry.
Right.
I mean, I like Prime and everything, but now when you buy something, it usually comes in 2 to 3 days anyway. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Prime for being overpriced. Anyway, Tampa Bay and the Bills. You got the Bucks and the Bills. Hesson will give you 3 things here.
3 things.
Actually, 4.
4.
Pick. Who's your pick?
Bills.
Prediction of score. Okay. You got Bills. Prediction of score.
27-7.
Ooh. Make or break time for both squads, yes or no?
Absolutely.
X Factor.
Baker Mayfield.
Factor, I just met her. Where's your come on, man. Baker Mayfield. I like that. Okay. So my pick is also the Bills. They're struggling at 4-3, second in the conference now behind Miami, who they absolutely whooped. So hate to see that. They're 0-2 now in their past 2 games. The Bucks are now 0-2 in their past 2 games as well, just lost to Atlanta. I got the prediction of this one. Bills winning 38-26. I think Josh Allen finally turns it around. I agree, too. This is a make or break game for both these squads, believe it or not. This early in the season, it truly is. This is where the momentum starts swinging, right in the middle of the season. So X Factor's Josh Allen for the Bills. He's got to ball out. He hasn't been Josh Allen that I love. He's been a little bit off this year with Stephon Diggs.
7 interceptions. Baker's got less interceptions than him.
There's some drama going on there or something. I don't know what's going on, but hate it. I love the Bills, man. I really do hate to see it. X Factor for Jags.
Buccaneers.
Oh, my God. Not the Jags. Bucks. Baker Mayfield as well. He's got to have a good game, too, for them to even have a chance. Don't really have much of a run game, really. Defense is it's okay. Bucks, I don't know. Bucks can be sneaky, but give me the Bills in this one.
Yeah, Bills easy. It's in Buffalo. I think Josh Allen has a bounce back game. I think he tries to shut some of the doubters up. I think Stephon Diggs. I mean, you want me to get an X factor for that? It'll be Stephon Diggs for the Bills.
Okay.
Stephon, I think he has a big game though. love Baker Mayfield. Love everything about Baker Mayfield. I wish him up the best. I hope the Bucs will win this game, honestly, because I just want to see Baker Mayfield do good. But I think the Bills win this game. I think it's a snooze fest, and I think we're watching hockey, basketball, or something other than. Hey, we're watching the Virginia Tech Syracuse game. Than this
college football, baby.
Other than this game tomorrow. But yeah, that's my take on that one.
I won't be watching it because it's on Prime, so I'll just be getting score updates. Yeah. So, all right. So that's our Thursday night prediction. Yep. Let's go ahead and
Sunday
look ahead to
quick hitters.
Quick hitters prediction, baby. Jags Steelers.
Jags.
Rams Dallas. Vikings Packers. Kansas City Denver. Oh! Bengals Niners.
Nope.
Right.
Bengals.
I like it. I got the Steelers, Dallas, Vikings, Kansas City,
Boo.
Bengals. Sorry, brother.
3 straight losses for the Niners?
Yeah, I think the Niners dropped 3 in a row.
Okay, here's my thing. All right, first off, Denver's going to win that game because it's in Denver, and Denver's on a win streak. We beat the Packers. And the reason I picked the Packers to beat the Vikings is because it makes our win against the Packers look that much better. So anyway, I'm being a homer this week. Who cares?
Vikings 2-0 the past 2 weeks without Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Just throwing that out there.
They got some good receiver. Van Jefferson's a really good receiver. But anyway, back to the Bengals Niners. Yeah. Brock Purdy.
Pretty good.
He went from not losing a regular season game to losing 2 in a row and looked atrocious.
Yeah, last week he looked bad.
Did he fool everybody?
They should have beat the Browns.
Browns got the number 1 defense in the NFL.
Yeah, but they had a chance to beat him.
Is Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy's not the guy, is he?
Yeah, he's the guy.
I don't think he is.
He's 5-2, and you're gonna say he's not the guy because he lost 2 in a row.
He looks terrible. He looks lost.
He's in the NFL. He's in the NFL.
Okay.
He's got one of the best running backs in the league. Some of the best wide receivers. Is Deebo Samuel? Is he still out?
I mean, look on it.
See, Samuel was out, so that's another. It's another thing.
But
too,
I mean,
man, looking at.
There's something that's. It's like the defenses have figured Brock Purdy out. They figured out his reads these last 2 games.
I like the Niners. I just think Joe Burrow and them are finally clicking. They are 3-3. Start off really rough. 0-3, I think now they've won 3 straight. I like the Bengals in that one. I want the Niners to win because the Bengals are in my Steelers division.
Trent Williams is questionable. Deebo Samuels is officially out, and Brock Purdy is in concussion protocol, and it looks like Sam Darnold is going to start for the 49ers.
Oh, give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals. Who'd you say on Jags and Steelers? I'm just curious. Can't remember what you said.
Jags.
Did you say Steelers? Jags. Yeah, I like me some T-Law, man. This one's tough for me. People, if you don't know, I'm a huge Steelers fan, but I love me some T-Law, which is Trevor Lawrence, QB for the Jags. Yeah, that's going to be a close game. I got the Steelers winning 21-17.
Who's the leading receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Should be Pickens.
Yeah, you're dang right it is. Yo, dog.
George Pickens, baby. I'm glad we got him. Pickett's to Pickens, baby.
Still the draft, man. Still the draft. Is Darnell Washington starting at tight end for you?
I don't think he is, honestly.
Who's your
I haven't seen his name pop up. No idea.
Because what's his face is out.
He might be playing them. I don't really think he's caught that many balls, though. If so, you'd have to look that up.
He has caught 1 pass for 3 targets for 10 yards.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't a lot.
He got 9 yards after the catch.
That a boy. What a beast, man. I'm so glad they got him.
Connor Hayward is your all's tight end. Why is Darnell?
I don't even know, man. All I know is Pickens, honestly, because that's the only guy that freaking catches the ball.
Huh.
Pickett to Pickens. That's all you hear all the time.
He didn't get any targets last week, and he got 2 targets against the Ravens. His only catch was against the Dolphins. Or Houston,
Interesting.
Sorry.
Interesting. You said Dallas? Is that what I heard?
Dallas? Dallas.
I picked Dallas, too. God, what's wrong with us?
Dallas.
It's at home.
Mm-hmm. Jerry's World.
So, yeah, I think Dallas wins pretty big, 35-21.
Yep. Close game. Field goal. Field goal.
Two score.
Field goal.
Want to put money on?
Yeah.
All right.
Field goal.
Bet.
Yeah,
35-21, Dallas. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for the NFL. I know we did quick hitters.
And we'll go in
we'll try to do some segments and stuff too, folks, for you all. Try to get some new sayings like quick hitters, stuff like that, predictions. Just throw that in there throughout the pod. So let us know what you think about that. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you have some suggestions?
You want us to quit talking about the NFL at all? Like you just don't care?
Yeah. Don't like the NFL? That's fine. Yeah, just let us know whatever you want to hear.
Here's a new segment coming up. We may have mentioned it just a smidge, but NBA started Tuesday night. We debated, do we want to talk about it? We said absolutely because we talk about sports. And the first game of the entire NBA season was Lakers versus the Denver Nuggets.
Woo! Big matchup.
Western Conference Finals rematch from last year. And the Nuggets did what they did in the Western Conference Finals. They won 119-107. Jokic had 29 points and a triple-double with that. I started off the game. I was texting Castle. I was like, Anthony Davis is a monster, and the dude finished with no rebounds.
Not just that. He was 0 for 6 from the field in the second half. Didn't even score a point.
Yeah.
Had 17 points in the first half.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it at
That's
all.
what lost him the game right there.
It's like Stephen A. said today. He's a roller coaster. He's Six Flags.
It's the first game of the season. Chill out, Stephen A. Yeah, I mean.
LeBron looked good, though.
LeBron, I want to say something. It's his 21st season, right?
39 years old.
His 21st season. He had 29 minutes of playing time, which is insane. He still got 21 points, 8 boards, and 5 assists.
And it came out this week that not only does he want to play with...
That's insane. His Bronny, he wants to play with his youngest.
Yes, he wants to play with the youngest. So
that's what I thought.
We got another 8 to 9 years of LeBron James.
Not going to happen.
48 years old.
An injury is going to happen. It's going to
happen. Don't say that.
I hope not.
Right,
I hope not.
Listen,
here's
my take on LeBron. Jordan is better. LeBron's the best player of our lifetime.
Yes.
Granted, I know I was born during the end of the Jordan era, but the one that I can remember watching, LeBron James is the best player of our era. Jordan is the best. I will go back his history, titles, everything. LeBron James couldn't handle Michael Jordan. But his political platform and all that crap aside, we talk about nothing but sports here. I love watching LeBron James.
Yep.
That dude is
as a sports fan, you have to like watching what he does on the court. It's insane. I mean, he's still moving like he's 20.
And
he blew by him for a slam dunk there, in the first half, and I was like, my God.
He still looks good. I mean, he just looks incredible.
Yeah, I can get you his number.
No, please.
Yeah, so that's the take on Lakers Denver. I mean, we got 81 games left, right?
Yep.
80 now.
I got that.
81. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it's 82 game season, right?
Something like that. I don't know how that in-season tournament plays into play, which we'll talk about that in a minute.
Something like that. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of basketball left for both those squads. Right now I think the Nuggets are the Lakers' daddy. Is the way I got that listed.
Love the Nuggets.
They're pretty good against the Lakers. Jokic and they're just they're good, man. Yeah, we'll get into our NBA favorites too. But next up, we got Phoenix and Golden State.
Yes, the Phoenix Suns.
This was also last night. Suns ended up winning 108-104. Very, very solid game. I think the Golden State Warriors outscored Phoenix 40-17, 40-18 in the third quarter. I thought for sure Golden State was going to pull it away. 40-19. Okay, I knew it was something like that. And then the Suns put it away in the fourth, outscoring Golden State 28-18. So defense locked in there in the fourth.
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker had 32. KD with 18, and then Grayson Allen with 43.
I would be wrong.
Right?
He was
43 and 6 trips on the court, I believe is what I saw.
0 points for Grayson Allen. He was 0 for 6 from the field. He was 0 for 5 from the three-point line. He had 3 offensive rebounds, 1 defensive rebound, and 2 assists. His point differential was -4. He cost them.
Don't trip on me, okay? Chill out.
He almost cost them the game. They only won by 4, and he cost them 4 of them.
Yeah, Curry ended up having 27, Thompson 15. I think Chris Paul had 14?
KD did play well though. He was 7 for 22 from the field.
That's first game jitters, man. I mean, he's probably nervous. He's never played a game of basketball before in his life.
But Devin Booker was 13 for 21. Eric Gordon was 14 for 6. But if you go get the Warriors, the leading scorer was Steph Curry.
14 for 6? What? Go back to that stat. Eric Gordon.
14 for 6 from the field. Or 4 for 6 from the field, sorry.
Golly.
Sorry.
Blind bad.
Yeah. Steph Curry, though, was 8 for 20 from the field. This was a terrible shooting game.
They shot like 10 for 44 from 3-point line. I saw
10
that
10 for
stat.
43 for 23% 23% from the 3-point line. The Warriors did. Not a fan of the Warriors this year. I don't think they got it. I think there's a lot of drama with that team. No Draymond Green.
Nope.
Klay Thompson's back. That's big. But they didn't look good. And I'm not a fan of the Warriors. I'm not a fan of Steve Kerr. It's not his team. It's Mark Jackson's team. I'll still say that to this day.
All right.
Yeah, the Warriors, a lot of people are cheering for them, but yeah.
We'll see, man. We're going to give our take. I don't know why we put this one on here. I think originally Orlando versus Houston, we was hoping that Matt McClung would be on Orlando. Matt McClung got cut. If y'all don't know, Matt McClung was a kind of a local kid.
Gator City, Virginia.
45 minutes from us. He was the NBA dunk champion last year. He did get drafted by Orlando in the offseason. I thought for sure he was going to actually get to play in Orlando. I thought he would fit well. Absolute scoring machine.
Tears it up in the G League.
Yeah, tears it up. I think he won G League
MVP.
Rookie of the Year.
Won MVP.
Yeah. And actually they won the championship too in the G League. I think he won it with Philly, if I'm not mistaken. But, I hate it for him. I hope he gets drafted somewhere. I'd love to go see him play. That's kind of I'm keeping that on my radar. So, but anyway, we got the Rockets here with the new head coach, side guard Fred VanVleet, and then forward Dylan Brooks. Pretty good hires right there.
Definitely.
Rockets last year went 22-60, absolutely horrid. Magic went 34-48. Ranchero is going to be a big deal down there in Orlando. I think this game's ongoing right now.
It is over. It's a final. Orlando won 116-86.
What'd I say?
They won.
I said Orlando.
They must have known.
God, y'all should have listened to me.
Cutting Matt McClung was a good thing because they played everybody on the team.
Wow.
Their leading scorer was Frank Wagner.
I still disagree.
He had 19 points. Sorry. No, Cole Anthony was the leading scorer. He had 20 points. He finished the game on the bench.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Cole Anthony.
Yeah, they got a lot of good young players. They got Jared Ingles. So they got Greg Harris. They got Anthony Black. They got Fultz, Malik Fultz. Carter Jr. played at Duke. They got him. They got Banchero. They're a really young team, very good team, exciting team to watch. If you're trying to find you an NBA team, this will be a very good one to kind of latch onto.
Well, it was.
I was going to
watch them.
Even still, though, it would be a really good, cool team to watch.
Not the same.
It's just because Matt McClung just can't. I don't know. It is what it is. Shout out to Randy Collins for reacting to our Facebook page. Appreciate that, Randy. That was just live, just popped up. Appreciate that.
Oh, just live. Yeah. Appreciate that. Another follow.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Let's move on to the next game. I know we're getting close on time. Milwaukee and Philly. That's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, man.
Who you got?
Philly. They got a team. Well, yeah. Hold up.
Oh my God! He just said Philly over Dame Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
This is why I say that. It's two superstars. We see how this goes every year that these superstars get together.
It's Dame Lillard.
It takes a couple games for them to get together. But is James Harden playing for the Sixers? Have we decided if his dude's going to play?
He was at practice. So
he's going to play. But there's still drama there. There's still drama there.
Supposedly. There's always drama around James.
You know what? Give me the Bucks at home.
Woo! Yeah, I got the Bucks on this one. I can't go against Dame. I love Dame Lillard.
And I know the Sixers don't got Bryce Harper, so we're good.
That's true. They got a Joel Embiid, though.
Who wins? Lakers Suns tomorrow.
Suns. Sorry, Josh Williams, if you're listening.
I hope he is listening. I hope he cried.
Lakers.
0-2.
It looked like poopy.
0-2.
They start off bad last year, if you remember. It started off terrible, and then they
have no
around.
depth.
So
that gets them every year.
They do have LeBron.
Lakers have no depth.
But I got Milwaukee in this one too. Favorite to win the championship? Who you got?
Gotta go with the Denver Nuggets, man. I think they're gonna repeat. They got a solid core. They got a solid bench. I love Malone. I think he's a great head coach. They got the best player in the NBA, the one that nobody talks about. Jokic. Yep. I mean, the dude puts up a
MVP last year.
He puts up a triple double every freaking night, and it makes it look easy. So
call him Russell Westbrook.
He shoots for average though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of Denver. The home field advantage they got playing in Denver. Go Denver. Maybe there'll be a successful team. I mean, everybody else in Denver is doing good. The Avalanche are doing good for hockey. Denver won a football game. So, hey, Deion Sanders. I mean, go Colorado. True. But if I had to put, if you gave me another one to kind of say possibly, if it can't be Denver winning out of the West, it's the Celtics in the East.
Yeah, I agree with that. Of course, I picked the Bucks just because I love Dame Lillard. Hess and I need to go see Dame Lillard actually.
Game time.
So we're going to go try to see him somehow, some way, some possibility to try to see him. Yeah, go to Milwaukee. Whatever we have to do, we'll try to see him. But yeah, I picked the Bucks. I mean, we don't know what they're going to be yet. But like I said, I just like Dame. Mm-hmm. But if I had a second choice too, I think I'd go Boston. Ooh. After watching them play the Knicks. I forgot Boston picked up Porzingis.
Yeah.
So they're tough, man. They're very tough.
Yep.
Could that could be the complete package.
Can LeBron still put up MVP numbers?
Yes, I think
so.
Can
LeBron win MVP?
He showed that last night. Yeah, he can.
Who
still
wins
win it,
the
but
MVP?
He's not going to. Jokic.
Jokic again, back to back.
Yeah, Oof. He's good.
Oof. Do you really think though that I know you're watching the Bucks a lot here, hyping up. Do you think Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Well, I mean, I was going to ask you this: who did Dame have around him at Portland?
That's my thing.
How many times did they make the playoffs?
That's my thing, though. He's never really. I mean, other than CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum's no slouch. He's a great basketball player.
Dame played for USA, right?
Yeah.
He played with superstars.
It's different though. International basketball's a little different.
Is it?
It's different.
He's playing in Milwaukee,
but he's got Giannis Antetokounmpo, and one of the most underrated players in the NBA for over the last 6 years, in Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton's a stud.
Yeah, Chris Middleton's a stud.
So,
very good defensive player.
He's a good three-point shooter, too. So, I mean, Damian Lillard's got players around him. So, I mean,
that team's solid.
I think it's going to take Damian Lillard time to realize he doesn't have to do it all.
Dame time. Don't forget it. Okay. I said it tonight, Wednesday night, tomorrow night, Thursday. We'll recap this. Dame time, baby.
One more thing I know we kind of talked about Harden. You said he's playing, so I ain't really going to touch base on the Harden drama. I really don't want to get into it too much because I think it's just childish, whatever. But me and you both are big CP3 fans. He's one of the originals guys. Melo, D. Wade, LeBron. CP3 on the Warriors. Me and you kind of always cheered for CP3.
I still cheer for CP3 as a player. I will not cheer for the Warriors. So
okay, I just wanted your take on that one. And last thing with the NBA, this year they got something new coming up. They got the end season tournament. They're kind of doing a college.
I want you to read this whole segment.
Nah, they got a whole college. They got a college basketball tournament going on. And what is it? 67 games.
67 games.
Starts,
all 67 games.
Starts November 3rd and ends. The championship game is December 9th. It's the first time they've ever did anything like this. They will be group play, which the groups are already selected. They'll have knockout rounds. The tournament, the brackets are already set up based off records and stuff from last year, who beat who, stuff like that. If you follow us on social media, there's a post about it out there. You can click the link. You can see all the rules and how the tournament's played out. But I think it's actually going to be pretty interesting because it's going to get some of these teams that you don't get to see much on national television. You're going to get to see them because all these games will be nationally broadcasted. There'll be an in-season tournament MVP.
Who needs League Pass, right?
Who needs League Pass?
Who needs it?
I don't know. Let's see. Prizing and league honors for the 2023-2024 season, the in-season tournament prize pool will be allocated to the players on the teams that participate in the knockout round. So teams that make it to the knockout rounds, they'll be eligible for the prizes, the rewards, and the MVP awards, stuff like that, with allocations increasing depending on how far the team progresses throughout the tournament. At the conclusion of the in-season tournament, the NBA will name the most valuable player, obviously, of the competition, at all tournament team, and the selection will be based on players' performance in both group play and knockout rounds. The final thought, and we'll get our final thoughts started to read on there. But
just keep reading, man.
But I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be you could see a team win that you don't expect to win. So I think it's going to help with the NBA.
It'll change. It's changing the game, man. I like it. Same with baseball we saw this year with the pitch clock and all the new rules.
The pitch clock.
It changed the game. I love it. It makes the game faster. Mm-hmm. As a fan, you don't have to sit there for 4 hours. I mean, most games are over in 2 hours. Right. So throw in a knockout round. Now you got March Madness for 67 games.
Yeah.
So give it to me, man. I like it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
good
this
with
call.
it. I think it's great. And then I think they did add that rule that there's no load management this year. Like you're not going to see these star players that they're not allowed to miss these games.
Yeah, they're not allowed to bench. Yeah.
So
That's nice.
if you are a parent out there that wants your kids' favorite players this one and you're trying to get tickets to go see them, don't have to worry about not seeing that star player anymore because they have to play those games. So there's no load management anymore. And this also helps with that because if they get knocked out early, they get time off. So they get their vacation. But that's going to be fun. That's going to be interesting. But I think that's all we got for the NBA. Let us know what y'all think about the NBA. If y'all want us to keep talking about the NBA, we will. If you want us to kind of keep it short and sweet, we will do that too. Just whatever y'all want, something new, just started. So filling that one out a little bit. But we'll move on to the end of this episode, man. Even though I hate to end this because I've really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, it's been a good one, man. It's been fun recording episode 6, even though episode 7 at the beginning. Okay. But also, too, I just want to let y'all know next weekend we actually have another PGA Championship. I think tour. I think it starts November 2nd.
Yes,
if I'm not
I can't
mistaken.
remember what it's.
It is something technologies. It's not Dell Technology.
Worldwide Technology.
Worldwide Technology. Yep. So that one's going on. So we'll be covering that one next week. But like I said, if you have any sports or anything you want us to cover, just reach out to us. Let us know.
Absolutely,
we're more than happy to touch base on it.
Yeah. All right.
But final thoughts.
Final thoughts segment. I think this is a good one, and I have a very, very quick answer for this one. Does Nick Saban retire after this football season? Does he retire if they win? Then you know what? Does he retire? What do you think?
I think he stays until he dies. I think he's going to die on the field.
Okay, I don't think he dies on the field. I think.
I'm just being honest. That's the way it feels. I do not see anybody else coaching Alabama. I mean, he's coached there since what, 06, 07?
Something like
07.
That.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive to keep a job at the college level that long, especially in today's time. I mean, because this dude hasn't had one bad season.
Right, he hasn't.
You look at Clemson now. I mean, they're kind of struggling a little bit, and they're already questioning Dabo. I mean, and he won him 2 national titles?
1.
3?
Went to 2, won 1.
Okay, went to 2, won 1 with T-Law. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You look at stuff like that. You look what Kirby's doing with the 2-peat. Let's say in 3 years y'all are absolutely terrible. Georgia's going to be doing the same thing. So to be as tenured and as long as Nick Saban's been there, is saying something about him. And I just don't see him retiring anytime soon. Even if this is the worst season Alabama's had in years, they're still top 10 program.
My take on that is I don't think there's no chance he retires at the end of this year. Even if they win the national title, I don't think he goes out on top. But I do think his years are numbered. I do think Nick Saban, the more I've read about him, the more I've tried to just get away from I just don't like Nick Saban, the more I've just tried to learn about him and what he's about.
He's actually a good guy.
I think him and his wife.
I hate that he beats us every freaking year.
I love that his wife critiques him after his games, like, oh, you shouldn't have said those words. You shouldn't have acted like that on the sideline. I read your lips. I seen the dirty words you said on the sideline. I love that. And a lot of people, they call his wife's name's Terry. They all call her Miss Terry down there. I will say, though, there's no chance that he retires at the end of the year no matter what happens, but I do think his years are numbered. I think we're looking at another 2 to 3 years of Nick Saban, and I think he rides off into the sunset. So that's my final thoughts on that one.
Hopefully not literally.
No. No, don't look at the light, Nick.
Oh, golly.
But
hopefully he does. I think he will finish out on top. I know you said he won't, but I see him being like the Tom Brady, going out on top. So
you might.
We'll see.
What an episode, man. I liked it. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, episode 6.
6 got it done. I mean,
if y'all made it this far, thank y'all for
absolutely, guys,
listening to us for an hour and a half of your day.
Yes.
Nighttime, morning, whatever time you listen
However
to
it is,
we definitely appreciate it. Just want to give a heads up. This is episode 6. Episode 7 will be going up Sunday night, Sunday evening. Upload times anywhere from 7:15 all the way up till about 11 p.m. Sunday Eastern time. That is, if you are listening. So, yeah, man, great pod.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, guys, reach out. Let us know if you have any other suggestions, sports. Yeah, let us know what you think.
Yep, and catch us, like you said at the beginning, catch us on all your major podcasting platforms. We're on all social medias. Reach out to us. Let us know what you think, good or bad. Be interactive with us. Don't be shy. We appreciate everything y'all have done, all the love, all the support, and we're getting ready. After this episode's over and we get it uploaded, we're going to start working on episode 7.
That's how it
We're going
goes.
to start working on now and get it ready. I hope y'all have an absolutely wonderful Thursday. I hope you have a great Friday. I hope you have a good weekend, and we'll get y'all back on Sunday night, Monday morning.
Sunday night, Monday morning. Peace.
See you guys.